You cannot get this information? This information is not available?
Well, like, for instance, let's say Eric, just a random person, was kicked out of his family, like pretty much disowned.
Yeah.
And his parents do not want to help him. But he wants to go to school for agriculture.
Right.
But cannot get the financial aid through because of the fact that his parents won't help him out with that. Now, what are your goals for finding ways for other young adults to actually be able to attend school and try and get themselves better for a better economy in the future?
Well, I think what we need to do is look at other innovative ways. But first, sometimes there are businesses. I know a company called Accumold here in Ankeny that actually will, for people that are going into tool and die making, they will actually pay their tuition. And so sometimes you can find a prospective employer that's looking for somebody that will actually pay the whole tuition or help with it in return for that. The other thing is to look at some of these scholarships and other programs that are available. I'm aware of a program that's available through the Iowa Sesquicentennial Foundation that provides scholarships to Iowa students. It's a competition thing and you have to write an essay for it, but that's also providing some. So there are a lot of different scholarships and loans available, and I guess what I would say, you know, you need to look at all different options and alternatives. I don't think there's a real easy answer. It sounds like your situation with the parents and not willing to cooperate or provide financial information makes it more difficult. But I don't think, I guess my feeling is, don't let that be a barrier that prevents you from looking at other options and other ways to do things. Yes, sir. Right up here.
My name is Tony Jones. I'm a student at Kirkwood Community College. First of all, I'd like to thank you for taking time to speak with us tonight. What I'm going to ask you is, how do you plan on promoting a college education, not only at community colleges, but at private colleges and four-year universities, with how important it is to have a college education other than just going into the workforce? And with being an education major, I'd like to hear an outline on what your goals are for not only community colleges, but education in general, such as a longer school day and school year, or maybe better pay for better teachers. Thank you.
Yeah, one of the things I think is really important is, one thing is, it's very clear, the statistics, the information, all this, the better your education, the higher your earning capacity is going to be. That is very clear, very understandable. So I think we need to make sure that people are aware of that. Secondly, you asked about, as an education major, what are we going to do to try to make teaching more attractive? And one of the things that we worked on before was to raise teachers' salaries through a combination of having a higher beginning teacher salary so we can attract more high achievers to the teaching profession. But I also believe we should reward teachers that make the extra effort to improve their skills, like becoming nationally board certified under the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards. We once had a stipend for that. I hope that we can restore that in the future. We also have a new director of education, Jason Glass, who has come here, and he has had a history and a background of promoting ways to compensate teachers based on the performance of their students, and doing that in a fair and objective way, which is not an easy thing to do. But I think that's the direction we need to go as we work to reform education and make it more attractive. I have a daughter that's a third grade teacher. She taught in California. My wife and I were delighted when she moved back to Iowa about 3 years ago. She teaches third grade in Waukee now. But she and I have talked a lot about that and how it's important to try to make the teaching more attractive. And one of the best things I think we can do is make sure that our teachers get the support they need from administrators and respect the fact that teachers have an important assignment and they need to have cooperation from the parents as well. Yeah.
Governor Branstad, my question is this. I'm nearing the completion of my degrees now, and I'm very thankful for the benefits I have received while going to school. but I've noticed that our hallways are getting more and more crowded, that the classrooms are running out of spaces to place computers. I'm curious as to what your plans are for allowing these schools to expand as needed to meet the growth to match the economy right now.
Well, first of all, I would say I think the community college has done a great job of that. In fact, I'm going to go to Atlantic for a celebration of a special grant and expansion that they're doing at the community college out there in Atlantic. And a lot of the community colleges have added additional campuses and new programs. So I think we need to look at ways that we can respond to the needs that are out there in the communities. And I think the community colleges have been the most nimble and the most effective at doing that. And we've seen things like, I know in this area what DMAC has done, and I've seen that, I guess, in other community colleges. On the campaign trail, I was over in Eastern Iowa. I saw what Kirkwood did with 8 small school, several small school districts, maybe it was 6 or 8, over in Jones County at Monticello, where they're actually offering. And the other thing that I think is really exciting is this dual enrollment, where we have kids in high school that are dual enrolling at community colleges and getting credit. I saw this at DMAC in Boone. We have 3 kids from the same family. I say kids, or the 2 of them are doctors and the third one is going to be a doctor. But Katie Howe and her 2 younger brothers, they got through DMAC in Boone, they got their degree in the community college at the same time they graduated from high school. And then they went on to Iowa State and eventually to Des Moines University and got their medical degree. But I think we do need to look at all kinds of. The other thing that I think we can do is looking at partnering with private sector businesses that are looking for employees that maybe will help financially in dealing with some of those things. But I think we got to leave it to the community colleges themselves to kind of identify where the needs are and where they need to expand. But I think the state needs to be certainly a partner in seeing that happen. Okay? Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Branstad. My name is Kyle Hansen from Iowa Lakes Community College. I know Iowa's always been very proud as the leader in education in our country, but as of Tuesday, I actually found out we're towards the very bottom, competing with top states such as Washington, Florida, California, Texas, New York, New Jersey, and so on. I just want to know, since your constituents voted you for top education, top U.S. priorities for the state of Iowa, anything that's look good for community colleges in the state as a whole, I want to know if you can certainly promise me that community college education will be your best priority like you say it's going to be.
Let me say, first of all, you don't do it by yourself. You need to put together a really good team to make things happen. I see the community college as being a very key player in both education and economic development. And so I want to do all I can to try to make Iowa as attractive as possible so that community colleges can continue to grow, continue to provide more educational opportunities and a better quality opportunity for students. But I also respect the fact that we have a limited amount of resources, so we've got to make the difficult decisions to see how we can best allocate those resources. And the more flexibility we can give to community colleges and other schools, the bit more likely they are to be able to meet those challenges. So it's not an easy thing, and you don't just wave a wand and make it happen. But I'm in it for the long term. I came back because I really believe I have the experience and ability to make a difference, but I also know you don't do it by yourself. And that's why we're trying to put a really strong team together and set some ambitious goals and why we want to have this education summit, kind of look at the future of education in Iowa. But I think you should be very proud. Community colleges have been the area of growth. They've been the schools of choice for many Iowa students. And the thing I'm proud of is a lot of the alumni stay in Iowa. And that's critically important to our state's economic future. Thank you very much. I guess I'll have to be the last one over here.
My name is Rosemary Bennett. I'm with Southeastern Community College. And I do hear what you're saying, that there's a lot of we we have a team. Okay, you're working on a team. You've been in office before, and you did a good job, don't get me wrong. But however, if you have all these team people and team players, why is this so hard? Why can't it just, like your magic wand, you've got the team players, let's go ahead and get it done.
Well, remember, the team has only been together for about a week or two. We're not going to be able to solve this overnight. I mean, first of all, we didn't get into the financial mess we are as a country and as a state overnight. We're not going to solve it overnight. But let me tell you, tomorrow I'm going to be presenting the budget. It's going to be a difficult and austere budget, but it's designed to put us on a path for stability and predictability in funding that's going to give education, so you're not going to have these surprises and cuts coming in the middle of the year and things like that. So you're going to know what you have, and you can work with it. That's going to be, I think, critically important, because if we have stability and predictability, and if we have people working together, I think we can make a real difference. But you just don't turn a ship on a dime. It takes a while to do it. And I'm in it for the long term, and that's why I'm putting together a budget that not only has, it's 2 years, but it also has a 5-year projection, so that we can see what we're doing is affordable and sustainable and will work for the long term. And I think that will, so I would say, look back in 2 or 3 years or 4 or 5 years from now, and I think you will see significant progress. But you may not see it next week.
I wasn't counting on it next week.
Well, we'll try to move as quickly as we can, and I understand the frustration that people have, because people want instant solutions, and there just sometimes are not instant solutions. It takes a while, but that's not an excuse for not going to work on it right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.